Daisy Kelliher and Gary King have often been at odds on below-deck sailing yacht. However, I'm convinced that they belong together. Here's why. Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Please subscribe and keep watching for more details. Daisy Kelliher and Gary King are longtime friends and stars of Below-Deck Sailing Yacht, and despite their tumultuous past, I'm convinced that the two of them belong together and will eventually date. Below Deck Sailing Yacht Season 5 is well underway, with Daisy and Gary dealing with difficulties in their respective domains. Daisy might become a villain because of the laziness and insubordination of her two stews, Diana Cruz and Danny Warren. Similarly, Gary is at an impasse regarding how to deal with Emma Crouch, an incompetent and sensitive deckhand. Daisy and Gary used to be friends before they were at odds with each other. Gary, a womanizer and troublemaker on board, was put in his place by Daisy, the no-nonsense, sarcastic chief stew. However, their dynamic was complicated when Daisy and Gary hooked up between seasons. Gary had residual feelings for Daisy and became jealous when she started a boat mince with former chief engineer Colin macrae. I don't think those feelings ever went away, and they both clearly still have a lot of sexual tension. They're definitely going to date. The only question is when. At the end of the previous charter, the crew went out on the town as they usually do. Despite alcohol usually getting Gary in trouble, he doesn't seem to have learned his lesson. Gary was completely sloshed when the crew returned to the sailing yacht, but he wasn't the only one. Daisy went to sleep, as did new deckhand Keith Allen, with whom Danny had been flirting. Danny set her sights on Keith early in the season, but she was discouraged by his professionalism when he didn't want to flirt in front of the guests. Gary proved to be a much easier target. Gary and Danny were later seen enjoying a late-night drunken swim, kissing in the ocean. He clearly regretted the kiss immediately, but Danny seemed to enjoy herself. The next day, a hungover Gary faced the repercussions of his actions. Danny was eager to share the news with Diana, her fellow stew and noted frenemy. Gary was less eager to share his transgressions with Daisy, who immediately gave him a talking to. She definitely didn't hold back. Daisy began by saying, F******, Gary, continuing, this is F*******, up. I think if you understood why this behavior is so toxic to the team and to yourself, I think it would be easier to be like, this isn't a good idea. She's 11 years younger than you. Daisy has seen Gary make mistakes with women before, even noting it had been 6 or 7 times. While her annoyance was largely because she cared about him, she could also be jealous. Daisy and Gary have plenty of sexual chemistry, and by hooking up with another crew member, Daisy could lose that connection. It got a little buried in the episode, but he told the cameras that he had unresolved emotions regarding his old friend. This was after she confronted him in the season premiere regarding his lack of support in the fallout from her relationship with Colin. Daisy, Colin, and Gary's love triangle was a focal point of Below Deck Sailing Yacht Season 4, with Gary purposefully trying to undermine Daisy's relationship with Colin out of jealousy. Gary might not feel fully able to be Daisy's friend again in Below Deck Sailing Yacht Season 5 because he still wants to be with her. However, he won't do anything about it because he's not sure if she feels the same way. In a preview for an upcoming episode, it appears that Daisy and Gary can be seen having a fun time together like they used to. I think this scene will set the stage for a real romance between Daisy and Gary to blossom. Due to his confessional, I'm convinced Gary wants to be with Daisy. All he needs is confirmation from her. Daisy and Gary never got the chance to carry out their relationship's potential because Daisy became interested in Colin after she and Gary hooked up off camera. However, Colin isn't on board anymore as a distraction. Furthermore, Daisy doesn't seem interested in Chef Clois Martin, new chief engineer David Morosi, or deckhand Keith. She was supportive of Keith when he got upset regarding Danny's interest in Gary, but there weren't any sparks between the two. Chef Clois voiced his interest in Daisy, but she's more concerned with his skills in the kitchen than his charm. Gary isn't interested in Danny, and he seems embarrassed that they exchanged a kiss. He told her repeatedly that it wouldn't happen again and felt he needed to admit his mistake to Daisy. There's no one that Gary trusts more than Daisy because she's always honest with him. That's a good foundation for a relationship, as long as Gary is finally ready to grow up. Given his latest makeout session, it seems that old habits die hard.